Hey everybody, what's up and welcome back to the Starcraft 2 Ownage Shack. It is David here once again bringing you another Master League Quest episode. I know it's been such a long time since my last one. This is going to be episode 14. It's a Terran versus Terran played on the map Typhon Peaks, or Typhon Peaks. Still not sure how you pronounce that, but I'm going to go with Typhon, I think. Sounds a little cooler. And anyways, I'll be giving this guy the GLHF, as I always do. And as you can see right there, I am hotkeying all of my expansion nodes to F5 through 7. And just in case you don't know, those are camera hotkeys. This is something I get asked a ridiculous amount of times. And another thing I want to address right now, some of you have approached me about private lessons. This is something that I don't really want to do right now. I just don't feel qualified at the moment since I'm only in Diamond League to be giving coaching like that. So it might be something I plan on doing once I get into the Master League, but as of now, it's certainly not my intention. I'm just, I just don't feel like I'd be giving you your money's worth at the moment. So, just wait a while. When I'm a bit better, then, we can discuss it a bit more at that point. So, anyways, this game, Terran versus Terran, been a little bit weak lately in my Terran versus Terran for some reason. And, well, I don't know what it is. I guess it's because I've been straying away from the Blue Flame Hellion drops a bit more. Just trying out new things, trying out mech in Terran versus Terran, just trying to innovate, be my usual self, not really following the norm. And yeah, it's kind of cost me a few games, but I think in this game my plan was to go for the Blue Flame Hellion drop again. Now, of course, it's a really good build, but people are getting a lot better at stopping it, and how you do that is just doing exactly what I've done right there. If you'll notice right there, there's a supply depot blocking my gas. That's just to stop Hellions from running in there, and that's really how you should stop it. The main way is you just block the Hellions with buildings, prevent them from getting to the mineral line, and you should be pretty much good to go against any drops that your opponent might throw at you. So that's my main plan right now, and the barracks is now done. Going to be getting that orbital command at the usual time. Everything here is standard thus far, and yeah, that's pretty much how I play normally until I scout my opponent. As you can see, I am scouting him right now. I saw him on the minimap there pass by my SCV, so I immediately changed my scouting pattern because I know it's too late for him to be scouting from that top right location. He must have come from the bottom. So that's what I do. And meanwhile, I've got my Marine out, so that's going to stop his scout from getting in my base, which is always good. And adding more depots to block off, just plug those holes so the Hellions can't get in. It's very important you do this now. It's such a common build, the Blue Flame Hellions. And he unfortunately for him, lets my SCV in. I see his gas, and I also check the bushes there, and you're going to see exactly why, because you can see the factory. So he was hiding that factory, so that's definitely interesting. And as you can see, that factory was, I'm pretty sure, yeah, that factory was a lot faster than mine. He must have gotten his gas at 12 supply instead of his barracks. The refinery first means that you typically are going for Banshees. And so I'm going to prepare accordingly for Banshees. And also, as I normally do now, I'm going to be adding in the Reaper to this build because I like that ability to just scout the opponent a little bit better. Typically, you're just going to rely on a scan, which costs more than a Reaper. The Reaper slows down your Hellions, but overall, I think it's probably worth it. You'll notice another depot is going down in the shrubs there. That's the most common drop spot, so you're going to want to cover that. And another thing I'm doing here is adding a bunker, because something I've noticed is if they use this 3 Marine, like 2 Hellion weird timing attack on you, and you're going for a Blue Flame Hellion drop, they can actually just crush you right there. I've lost because of that. So be very careful. Something you're going to want to look out for, of course. And meanwhile, I'm going to be lifting that factory up, put him over there. And I do apologize for the lag in this video. I was lagging last night on BattleNet, so that's why there's some lag here. Hopefully I'll fix that for you guys in my next cast. But anyways, the Reaper's going in through the back door as usual. This is the best spot. You always want to do this because not likely going to have any Marines there. And I see the factory's moved, and I'm just going to be looking, okay, double gas. And interesting, I see the starport with a tech lab, but the tech lab isn't researching, so I'm a little confused. I'm going to assume it's Banshees because there is that tech lab, and there's really nothing else he could be getting out of there right now at this point. But, I'll be scouting around with the Reaper a bit more. And there's the other gas, of course. And the factory's now landing. I decided not to go for the Blue Flame Hellions. It was just a little too bait at this point. I just don't like doing it when they go for Banshees, simply because it delays the Viking a little too much. So I'll be getting that Viking out a little bit faster. Also, I've been just making add-ons everywhere with these buildings. I'm just really confused at this point as to what I should do. Banshees are not something I commonly face these days, actually, in Terran versus Terran. Seem to be losing a little bit of popularity because people are indeed favoring the Blue Flame Hellions. But I do have my engineering bay up, going to get a couple turrets in key locations, going to protect my expansion, and you should get that Viking out ASAP as well. You're going to want to make that an orbital command too. And I'll once again be playing musical add-ons here, just switching everything around. Like I said, I was just not sure what to do when I changed my build, so it's something I'm going to have to work out in future games. But I do have a Hellion stashed out here just to, try and scout the front. So I'm going to push up and I see, okay, a bunker and a Hellion himself. So interesting, and still no Banshees. And this is definitely past the time you'd see the Banshees. You'd expect them out by now. So I'm a little confused at this point as to what the heck he's doing. I'm assuming that now that I've seen that Hellion, it must be some kind of drop. So I do add another turret over at that drop location that people seem to love so much. And I get a Viking too. Viking I will put over here. That's just a patrol so I can catch that dropship before it even comes out. And I'll be getting another as well with siege tanks coming out too. And I'll be putting that expansion over there. Siege tanks will be able to move out once I get siege tech completely researched. As you can see, it's about 2/3 the way done at the moment. And now that I've got enough Vikings out, I don't really need that reactor anymore. In fact, I probably never needed it. So I'll be putting the barracks back on there to get some more Marines. Meanwhile, the Viking is just patrolling, as you can see, over at his base. And I'll be putting a turret up there, transferring some SCVs. Life is pretty good right now. Also, make sure you put a bunker down there. It's very important. If he comes at you with Hellions, he can roast all your Marines if they're not in a bunker, and that's very, very dangerous. Also, I recommend you don't salvage the bunker at your front quite yet. It's just a real nice fallback to have. And now that Siege Tech is done, I'm going to be moving out there. As you can see, my macros kind of slipped right now. I should have more production facilities, namely barracks, but I do not at the moment. I've got one coming out, but I really should be adding on more at this point. There's no real excuse for that. It's just bad play by me. Not in the Master League quite yet, but I am indeed getting there. So here we go. And a turret's going up. Always a good play. Also set that rally point. That can be somewhat annoying. And he gives me a scan. And, I'm not going to scan him back. But I probably should, simply because I'm so confused by his build at this point. I just have no idea what he's doing. But I'll just continue with my normal build. I'm also getting, I think, a reactor on that starport. Yep, sure. Yeah, it looks like it. It's taken way too long to be a tech lab. So that's good, of course. Reactors are a great thing. You want to get that reactor as fast as possible in Terran versus Terran so you can get air control, if that's the way you like to play. And it's going to be very important in this game because he comes at me with battle cruisers. And yeah, I'd be lying if I didn't say this caught me completely off guard. The siege tanks luckily completely demolish his ground forces, but I've got nothing to deal with the battle cruisers, so I queue up Vikings right there immediately, and I'm going to have to pull back to my expansion, or sorry, my main base. So I'm going to unsiege those tanks, and it's a good thing I didn't salvage that bunker because, as you can see, it's going to be instrumental. I got to get Marines in there, going to build a crap load of missile turrets, and siege up that tank. Also save that expansion. There's no reason for that to die at this point. So when you're getting rushed by battlecruisers, the key point here is to stay calm. Also save that medevac because it is going to play a crucial role. Stay calm, get your Vikings out, and just try and pick him off. You can really kite him well, but he's doing a good job keeping that injured battlecruiser in the back there. So you're going to want to keep massing Vikings, as you can see. That's what I'm doing right there. And just keep your cool. It's not really that bad. He invested so much into these that you can probably take him out pretty easily if you can defend this one rush. And having that bunker at your ramp is going to really prevent him from moving up there. As well as the missile turrets. Missile turrets are phenomenal against battlecruisers, just in case you didn't know. I'm going to heal that medevac up now as well. And my plan now is to just drop him. I know he's got nothing at his main. His battlecruisers are way too slow to get back there to defend. So it's going to be wide open, easy pickings. Going to repair those Vikings as well. And I will be moving out those Marines maybe a bit. Oh, looks like I'm just going to chill back at home. Still getting more tanks, because you really need the tanks to go for the SCVs that are under, as you can see. Now, I did start researching Infernal Pre-Igniter, and I'm going to decide that's not a good idea, because I've already got Stim researched. So I'm going to cancel that, as you can see there, and load up the Marines that already have Stim, and go drop with those. It's going to be much more effective. I need to end this travesty right away, or he's just going to get too much economy. I can't afford to wait for Infernal Pre-Igniter at the moment. And so I'm going to keep pumping those Vikings. As you can see, at this point, you get very supply blocked easily. It's pretty tough. Also, I'm going to be landing that just for some extra mules and scans. Obviously, Banshees are not far away on the tech path for him. It's right there. He's got a Tech Lab starport. So I will be dropping those Marines, landing that, getting some supply depots. Yeah, your macro really goes to crap in a game like this when you just get completely caught off guard. So I'm going to stim in there and just go to town on these SCVs, and you're going to see just how fast they'll die. It's pretty good, let's put it that way. And I was a little apprehensive about the bunker, but then I realized, yeah, he's probably salvaged that by now. There's no way he's going to still have that. And as you can see, there's absolutely nothing here defending. He's pulled a ton of SCVs already to help repair those battlecruisers, but I get every single one that wasn't. So that's pretty huge, and at this point I pretty much won the game. I'm going to scan for that. Meanwhile, this entire time I've been building up Vikings just so I can go out and take those battlecruisers head on, and also keep getting the Marines. They're pretty decent against battlecruisers until BCs get that plating upgrade. Obviously, at the moment, the Marines only do like 3 damage to the BCs, but the great thing is they're not big targets, so BCs aren't as good at killing them as they would be like siege tanks or something like that. So I'll be moving that, coming in with the rest of my army, and I'm pretty much ready at this point. I'm going to do a little bit of a forward scan. I'm not quite sure where the BCs went, and this is where you're definitely going to want to siege up. You do not want those Marines getting anywhere near your siege tanks, because the Marines will kill your Vikings, and that's what you need to kill the BCs. As you can see here, snipe those BCs as fast as possible. All the micro in the world probably won't save them from this many Vikings. You're also going to want to focus fire them all on one, and the Marines help out, and he just goes ahead, calls me a noob. Pretty much sums up the North American ladder in one statement right there. And he goes ahead and leaves the game. So yeah, always nice to be called a noob by the battlecruiser rusher. So that's great. And of course his most played race is Protoss, go figure. I have no idea where this guy came from. Looks like he switched to Terran, or he was Terran last season, then he started playing Protoss this season. I don't know. I'm just happy I beat that because it's not fun losing to mass battlecruisers fast. So there you go. And anyways, gonna check out my little summary here. Got 45 wins, it looks like. Oh, make that 46 in the top 25. Gonna try and push it up to rank 1 there. He's got 55 wins. Gotta beat him. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So once again, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I hope to see you again for another Daily Dose of Own.